And because this is a Nest thermostat and we have Google, we can say, hey Google, turn off the downstairs thermostat.
Got it. Changing the Nest thermostat to off.
But as you see, it's flipped it to off, and it works. My haircut, ready for this weekend now. So this here is the new Nest thermostat. I'm gonna call this my review. I've been using the device for a couple days now. I love it. I love the aesthetics of it. I love how it looks. There's just a couple of little issues I have that I'll explain at the end. First, I'm going to give you a tutorial and review of exactly how you use the device on the wall, as well as how you use the device from the app. So first, let's see how you use this from right here. I just realized before we get started, make sure you click like, subscribe, and check out Indulge Clothing for our merch. Now we can see what this will do. So this is the new Nest thermostat, the Google Nest thermostat, or the 2020 Google Nest thermostat, whatever you call it, the one with the fancy mirror finish and the multiple colors here. To work this device, you basically, you can just tap on the side here, and it brings up your menu. And if you look, you can see this little gray line from top to bottom there? That's where you put your finger to slide and select something. So you can go into the settings, the fan, hold to turn it off or on, and your heating modes. This just tells you the time, the temperature outside, temperature indoor, etc. Now, when you're on this screen, if you want to actually change the temperature, you come up and you go up or down to select which one you want. So I want it to be hotter in here. I'm going to tap heat and then just swipe on. Oop, I'm going the wrong way. Swipe up. You have to do it a couple times though. And once it gets above 72, it'll actually cut on. Boom. Hear little fancy noises. I always miss this little pad though. So I'm going to set it to right there at 75. Bam. Now it's going to take 35 minutes to get to 75 degrees and it's heating. And look at that. It has a little cool flashing heating icon showing you that the heat's on. I wonder if the air has the same icon. I'll have to try that in a moment. Also in the shot here, you can kind of see around where the actual screen is. My camera's actually able to pick it up. But you can see where the difference of the actual mirror is and the actual screen. All right, does it have a cool little icon for getting cold? It does, it just kind of flashes though. See, that flashes, and the heating one actually is like two different icons, like a flame. See the little one, the big one? It kind of goes up and down, it seems. I like that better. All right, so in these modes here, when you tap on the side, as I mentioned, that's just how you change your temperatures. It's gonna take it 10 minutes to get there. But if come up and I tap, get to the main menu, this is just the modes, so you can change it from cool. See, it's really hard to always keep your finger here. The off setting, the heat setting, the cool setting, and both, which is the current mode it's on. This here is the hold. Hold the current temp, continue or back. This is your fan setting for auto on or off. And this is just the settings of the device, which tell you your battery, wiring info here, power info, battery's in good shape, it's not weak, connection strong, version information, my account that's connected, restart, and factory reset, which we don't want that one. But that's all the settings that you have choices from this thermostat menu. Everything else is of course done inside the app. All right, and so that's everything you can do from right here on the device itself, but there's a lot you can do inside the Google Home app. So here's a little tutorial of the Google Home app itself. Alright, so let's give you a little tour around the Google Home app. If you open the Google Home app and then select thermostats, if you have more than one, this is how it'll look, but yours should just instantly go to the single thermostat you have, unless you do have more than one. And this is our new Nest thermostat right here. So from this window here, I can do everything that I can actually do on the screen on the actual thermostat, which I just showed you a few moments ago. So you can set the fan, you can your hold temperature, you can set the actual presets, and you can select which mode you want. You can also move this around to make it colder or warmer. If you go up here though to the settings, this is where you have some more features. So device information, that's just that, device information. Sharing, this is for sharing the thermostat in your household for other users, like so your wife can control it as well if they're not set up. This is air filter reminders. This is the only notification it has currently. This is just some thermostat settings. So like for example, the clicking you heard, you can turn that off or on. You can set whether you want degrees or Fahrenheit. You can have the display only wake up on approach or on a press, whichever one you want. You have your configurations and wiring configurations here also. Now, temperature preferences, this is where you're able to set your presets for each temperature preset that you have. So like comfort, that's our main one. This is what we like to keep the house at. Eco is when we're not at home. I don't care what it is. Sleep is for nighttime, so we want it to be a little cooler. As you see, it even tells you 2 degrees lower than comfort cooling. And then you can also create a custom one. You can give it a name and select what times you want. That I don't do. These 3 honestly are perfect for me. I need one for when I'm going to sleep, I need the one for when I'm here, and I need an eco for when I'm not here. You're then able to go into schedules, and this is where you can set these at. So like my comfort setting starts at 6 a.m. and then at 8:30 a.m. it switches over to eco mode because we're not here anymore. And then at 4:30, which is when we normally get home, it switches back to comfort, which I actually need to move that to like 4 o'clock because that way it'll already be a good temperature when we get here. And then sleep is just our nighttime one because we want it to be a little cooler. And that's truly about it for the features of the Nest thermostat inside the Google Home app. Alright, so that's everything that you can do. As you can see, I've did an unboxing video, I have did a setup video, and this one's really the review, showing you what you can do on here, showing what you can do on the phone, and my take on a $129 smart thermostat. Now, I would say if you're in the market for a thermostat, this is a great one to get. There's really nothing negative that I can say about this thermostat. It just depends on your setup, because there's one thing this one does that the Nest Thermostat E and the regular Google Nest Learning Thermostat does, which is these. This is the Nest Thermostat Sensor, and the Thermostat E that I have, as well as the more expensive like $230, $250 one, works with these. So what I'm able to do is, this is in our bedroom, and I have the regular thermostat here. I'm able to set this to switch to this sensor at like 9 o'clock. And then from 9 to 6 a.m., it goes by this sensor and tries to make this room the temperature that we want. For whatever reason with this thermostat, they did not allow you to use these, which these aren't cheap. These are like 40 or 50 bucks. I'll pop it up right here. These are not too cheap, and I don't know why they don't want you to be able to use these. What I'm getting to here in my review is that basically this thermostat is perfect for you depending on your house setup. My house, I have an upstairs, I have a downstairs, I only have one thermostat. So this one does not work very well. The thermostat E is perfect because it can control down here, and then it can work with this little sensor to control upstairs for us, since we don't have 2 separate thermostats for the floor. Now, if you live in a 1-story house, this thing would be perfect, great. If you live in an apartment, 5 stars, perfect. If you have 2 thermostats in your house, you could get 2 of these. You'd spend $260, which is a little more than it would cost for one of the Google Nest Learning thermostats. Those are like $230, $250 right there. You could have 2 of these, one on each floor, and then just set your settings in the Google Home app to flip between them. That would work phenomenally. Phenomenally? I don't even know how to say that word. That would work great. For me, in this house, with this setup with one thermostat and nothing on the second level, This one and it missing the feature of the sensors just does not cut it for me. But again, you may be in one of those situations where you have one thermostat, or you're in an apartment, you're in a townhome, whatever, and it's not too important for this. You just want the other features and want it to look cool. I mean, look at this thing. It looks flawless on the wall. The mirror, I think, is amazing. I really, really love it. And for 129 bucks, it's only a little more expensive than your average smart thermostat. So I think that will do it for this video. Hopefully you liked my review. That's what I think about it. That's what I think it would be good for. I'm actually going to take this down. We're just going to hold on to it. And hopefully when we move, we'll have two thermostats. And then I'll have the Nest Thermostat E on my main floor. And I'll put this one on my second floor. And it'll do exactly what I want. Just here with only one thermostat, and it doesn't work with the sensors. It doesn't work so well for me. If you can, click that like button for me. Click subscribe down below. Make sure you check out indulgeclothing.com for our merch, and I will see you in the next video. Deuces. Giant cross, and then a football field away, giant adult store. I love it.